It's like time creeps up on you. It's like. Good morning, everyone. My name is Tammy Sadler-Jones. I'm the Assistant City Administrator, and I'd like to call the License and Variance Board meeting call to order at 10:01 a.m. Board members present. To my left is Roy Akery, the Fire Chief, and to his left is Scott Stokes, the Director of Public Works. Christiana Craddock is the Executive Assistant to the City Administrator, and she will be taking the official meeting minutes. First item is a public hearing, Variance Request Public Hearing LIC 2017-04 Beer and Wine Package, 475 Windy Hill Road, ARA Chevron LLC with Cedar Caton as the agent. Is the agent here? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Fifth. You're right. You're right. April 12th. Madam Chair, motion to chair, in seeing that the applicant is not present, I may make a motion to chair to the next License and Variance Board meeting scheduled, which will be April 12th, 2017. Make that in the form of a motion.
Second motion.
It's been motioned and properly second that we table public hearing privilege license request LIC 201 with Ward A. Chapman as the agent. Good morning, Mr. Chapman.
Good morning.
And for the record, can you state your name?
It's Ward Allen Chapman.
Okay, all right. And you're here for a privilege license. And have you received a copy of the city's alcohol beverage ordinance?
Yes, I have.
And have you read it, and do you understand it?
Yes, I have, and yes, I do.
All right. And do you agree to abide by the ordinance?
I do.
Okay. And you've completed the responsible alcohol sales class. I think we have a copy of your certificate in our packet. And what steps do you have in place at your store to make sure that your employees do not sell alcohol to underage persons?
We have a training center that all of our cashiers and supervisors attend that training center to coach on alcohol sales and tobacco. We also have a POS system that prevents selling alcohol or tobacco. It prompts for ID. And on under 21 IDs, a manager, myself, and my 4 assistants are the ones that actually approve those sales. And we have POS decals located at the front door that we ID, and also at the point of sale on the sales floor and the registers.
Okay. Any questions for the applicant?
Mr. Chapman, can you describe your role at this store?
The store manager.
Okay. And have you been the registered agent for any other store in the past?
Yes, I have been. I've been store manager for 25 years, and I actually operated one in Smyrna previously.
Okay. And you were the registered agent for that one?
I believe so, yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Do you understand that from time to time the Smyrna Police Department does undercover sting operations, and if any of your employees sell to an underage person, that they will be taken to jail immediately?
I do.
Okay, all right. Does your staff understand that?
They understand that also, yes.
Okay, thank you. The Smyrna Police Department did do a background investigation, and there was no information that would preclude issuance of this particular license. So with that said, this is a public hearing. If anyone would like to speak regarding this issue, please step to the podium at this time. All right, seeing no one, I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
Motion to approve privileged license request LIC 2017-05 beer wine package 3240 South Cobb Drive, Kroger Company doing
.017-05. All in favor, please vote. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you so much, Mr. Ward.
Thank you.
Next, Mr. Chapman, rather. Next item is a public hearing. Variance request V17017, allow construction of pool deck within sanitary sewer easement, 0.35 acres, land lot 335-417 Downfield Way. James Attree is the applicant. Can you step to the podium, please? And for the record, can you state your name?
James V. Atria.
Atria, okay. And can you tell us about your variance request, Mr. Atria?
Well, I guess there's a couple things that I wanted to ask. I don't know if I'm allowed to ask questions of the Community Development Center. He has recommended denial, even though I am disappointed in his recommendation. I wanted to understand how he came about, what documents he reviewed, because when I went to his office, he had recommended that I did not submit the entire package that I had and that I make it simple. And I don't think all the facts were presented to the board.
Okay. Well, go ahead and make any other additional comments that you have about your request, and then our staff, Joey Stobbs, will be making some comments to the board as well.
Okay. Well, one thing I wanted to ask is there is dozens of emails back and forth from myself as well as the contractor and the professional permitting company that tried to get my pool permit. We started actually almost a year ago to get a simple pool permit, and we had various delays, some caused by the city, some caused by me have to go out of town. But in particular, I had submitted a narrative to Charlie Welch. He's Ward 4 councilman, and I wanted to know if that document was reviewed by the Community Development Department or anybody on the board. If not, I can read it into the record.
Okay, you can read it, because as far as I know, we don't have anything.
Right, but I submitted, but not all the other emails because I didn't submit those.
I've got the emails I have that
Okay.
part of, but not any other.
Okay, all right. This is a pool timeline summary, and this is what I had discussed with Councilman Welsh. On or about March 9th, 2016, I started a pool permitting process asking for a checklist of what the city of Smyrna requires. We contact Mr. Eric Rydell and were told there was none, but he gave us some general guidance. We informed Mr. Revell that we would draw a site plan showing the house and all current and future improvements. On the 10th of March 2016, I downloaded the city ordinance 95-02, but there was, I think, 1,000 or 1,100 pages. So I asked for more help. I did meet with Bob Thor, and in summary, we needed an erosion plan, which I passed on to my pool contractor. We were told by Eric Randall that we also would need a NPDES community development permit. 4 months later, we would find out that this was not required. On May of 2016, we asked again for more detail information. We were reminded we needed a DPDES permit. On June 13, 2016, the contractor agent who obtains permits informed me that he has done all he can and he needed a builder developer to sign off on the pool permit because of the NPDES. I needed to get permit requirements. Again, this was not needed. At this point, I started calling the county and the state as well as the subdivision developer. Asking to talk to all these parties, the city said we needed to sign off. I found out the enclosed permit to the state of Georgia was not required. I resubmitted a site plan, the pool application to the city. The city did issue a building permit on 7/26/2016, number 162142, for the residential pool with non-permanent interlocking concrete pavers clearly shown on the plans. Copy enclosed. Because I wanted to be present during construction and the delay caused by the NPDES permit, I had to reschedule until February 2017. We called for a pre-construction meeting and were told it was not needed, so we started construction of the pool. As instructed, we did call for a basket inspection, that this is all plumbing installed, tested, and steel completed. We passed the inspection on 2/2/2017. For your review, I included a copy of the building permit, inspection card, and the original approved plans. On the afternoon of 2/2/2017, Paul Osborne came out to my home, questioned me on the pool. Paul expressed that his department was not aware of the pool starting. I informed him that we called and we were told to start. He stated he was not surprised that there were some personnel changes and most likely and went to a dead mailbox. He had a copy of the pool permit, site plan, and said that there were pavers in the easement and that they had to be removed and they needed to be changed. He asked me to redraw the site plan, taking some of the pavers out of the easement, which I did, email to him, fully cooperating with the city, trying to come to a reasonable solution to this problem. The next thing I received is a stop work order. Again, trying to be a good neighbor, I complied with his request, knowing that emailing a stop work order highlighted in red is not the customary way of giving notice to a property owner. For the next 2 weeks, I tried and received some administrative relief. After repeated phone calls, driving to the city's office, I was told by Mr. Scott Stokes no on 2/16, and there was nothing I could do about his decision. His decision was final. I then requested the reason why he denied me the minor request for existing approved permit, clearly showing the pavers. I told him I needed the information because I was going to ask for a variance. He then explained to me that I can't ask for a variance. I strongly disagreed with his position, and Paul provided me with a copy of part of Ordinance 90-33, copy enclosed. My variance request summary. I am asking for a variance because the only option left to Public Works departments will not reapprove the pavers. The city did review and approve my site plan showing the pool, including pavers in the easement, by issuing permit number 162172 on 7/26/2016, and an inspection card inspecting the work on 2/2/17. On 2/15/2017, Public Works also said I could gunite the pool with no changes to either the original or revised plans. So why was there a stop work order on 2/2? The ordinance 90-33 has a solution for fence and permanent structures built in any easement which pavers are neither. Pavers are not a structure according to the building code. A structure is something that is 6 inches or greater above the ground. And the remedy outlined in ordinance is simple. The property owner is responsible for the expense of any reconstruction, reinstallation of a fence or permanent structure in the easement. I have offered to record a form agreeing to pay for the replacement or reinstallation of the pavers in the easements in addition to the city ordinance. If there was ever there was a hardship not caused by the property owner, this is more than meets the requirements. I also wanted to check, the city routinely allows fences throughout the community over any easements. The city also allows concrete structures such as sidewalks, curbs, driveways on city easements. The city does allow railings, driveway, fences on the easements. And I have various photographs to support my position. Again, I wanted to bring out on the city is still using IRC-2012 as their building code guidelines, correct? Yes. Okay. Pavers are not structures, correct?
Mr. Atria, if we could,
Okay.
let's have a conversation between the board and,
Oh, okay.
and when you're,
just-
I've got a couple of questions that I've
Okay.
got, but I want to give you an opportunity to finish.
Pavers are not structures. Pavers are not obstruction to drainage, and pavers will not restrict drainage as long as they're installed properly and at grade. Let's see. Okay, feel free to ask me questions. I'm a little nervous, so don't.
No need to be nervous, no. Is that okay,
Let
Madam Chair?
Joey make his comments first, or you want to ask the applicant questions?
I'll defer to you. on
Okay,
that.
let's let Joey Stobbs address the board, and then we'll have you come back and address questions for you. So actually, you can just sit right there on the front seat.
Joey Stobbs, Planner 2 with Community Development. We might need clarification because it sounds like what Mr. Atria described wasn't exactly what I understood. Can we clarify what's built in the ground right now is the original design?
No, the revised design.
Okay, that's what I thought. The request is 417 Downfield Way to allow encroachment into the sewer easement at the rear of the home. From what I understand, everything Mr. Atria described is accurate. There was a lot of discussion early on. Both myself and Eric Randall spoke with the pool contractor or the pool permitting contractor. We both told them that no construction is allowed in the sewer easement. This was prior to seeing any plans at all. But just when they were asking general questions, we generally said, there is a sewer easement in the rear of this property, and you can't build on it. Subsequently, a site plan was submitted. Both myself and Eric looked at it, overlooking this portion that did encroach into the easement. So we issued a permit.
Joey, just for clarification, when you're talking about this, you're talking about what's noted as the original approved site plan?
Yes, sir.
In the application, and the encroachment that you say that you didn't notice dealt strictly with the pavers, is that correct?
That's correct. It's
Okay,
about,
continue.
according to the applicant, about 150 square feet
Of pavers.
pavers.
Right, got you.
The pool was about 7 feet further back from the easement in the original design. Like, I'm not clear when, but at some point, the site plan was revised without any staff oversight or approval. The only plan that we ever saw was this original plan.
Okay.
Until an issue came up later on when Paul got involved, Paul Osborne, and it came to our attention that the pool was being built according to a revised design that we had not seen. That design, the revised design, it's approximately the same amount of encroachment, roughly 150 square feet, but the alignment of the pool is much different, and it's either right on the edge of the easement or in the easement. That creates a whole different set of challenges and difficulties getting into the sewer line for maintenance. If this is dug up and the pavers are removed and it's excavated, it's probable that equipment will rupture the wall of the pool, or the removal of that fill dirt will, when there's no more support for the wall of the pool, it could collapse. That's what staff is bringing up.
Joey, when did we get the, and I apologize to interrupt you, when did we get the, when did your office get the, what's noted as the revised plan?
This was during construction when Paul had done a site visit, and there was a discrepancy about what could be built, what couldn't be built. Then this was brought to my attention. I don't know exactly what day.
Okay.
And then when the variance was submitted, that both site plans were submitted.
Okay.
So roughly February 10th. Oh, February 2nd.
Okay, when was the original approved site plan
Oh, that was
submitted?
like, I think in June or, yeah, July of 2016.
Thank you. Okay.
That's staff's recommendation for denial is strictly because the challenges with this revised site plan are, we just want everyone to understand the nature of what the probability is of happening is when sewer maintenance occurs, it could very well rupture the pool. It's not just removing some pavers. The original design, even though there was some encroachment, we probably could have worked with that. It left much more distance between the pool wall, and it didn't create the issues we have with this revised design. So that's staff's analysis of the situation and our recommendation. But if the board did want to consider approval, staff would just recommend some stipulations. One,
But
approval
we've
is-
got those stipulations
Okay.
in the record.
So,
I just had a couple questions for the applicant. That's okay?
It's fine.
Mr. Atria.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
how are you?
Sorry.
So, did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes,
Atria?
sir.
Okay. It looks like to me, because when I listened to everything, you know, that you read into record, I don't see the pavers themselves being the issue here. I see the issue, and this is going to be kind of a comment in form of a question, and I'll give you plenty of time to, because I want to make sure that I understand all of the facts.
Yes, sir.
It appears to me that the original approved site plan that by which you were issued a building permit from the city that you've referenced was not what you actually put in the ground. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there's been a revision
Yes,
of the
sir.
original site plan.
That is correct.
And it appears, after hearing both sides of the testimony, that the revised pool was built without submitting the revised site plan to the city. And that's important in this situation. Okay, and I'll give you an opportunity. If that is the case, back to my original comment, the issue that we're having here is not with the pavers. It's with the proximity of the actual pool wall to the sewer easement. You referenced the city giving variance over easements, and that's not untrue. However, I do want to clarify for the record that the particular easement that we're talking about here is a sewer easement, okay? So we are a lot more stringent with regard to encroachment into sewer easements because we do, as a city, have to repair those. And the issue that I see, sir, is that you built a pool. You revised the plan without you built the pool basically in a different way that the city from the original approved site plan. And that in doing that revision of the site plan, you moved the pool into or right at the actual sewer easement as opposed to your original site plan, which was the pool itself. Forget about the pavers. The pool itself was at least 7 feet away. Those are two completely different situations. So help me to understand if what I perceive as facts here are incorrect in any way, please let me know.
Okay, one, the gunlighting of the pool, which I do have an email from Paul, was done after, okay, the city got the revised plans. Okay, it's important.
You gave the revised plans
On the beginning of February, and on the February 15th, I was told to move forward with the gunlighting of the pool, the revised pool, with no changes.
Okay, so who did you give the revised site plan to?
I gave this revised site plan to both Community Development and the Public Works Department.
Okay.
Okay. Let me also read into the record an email that I did send to the city, which I think will shed light on a lot of your questions.
And specifically, who did you send the email to?
I'm just trying to find this.
You looking for your document?
Okay, this email was sent on February 6, 2017. It was sent to Paul Osborne, Robin Boyles, Russell G. Martin, Joey Stabbis, Scott Stokes, Kettling Warsh, Eric Randall, Jimmy Sessa, who's the pool contractor. So I think that covers everybody. And this is what I said: Paul, I do not know if you had time to visit the site, but the silt fence was completed last Friday. I had time to talk to the contractor and his permit processor to find out why the revised plans were not submitted to the city of Smyrna. The answer is simple, but it does not forgive the property owner's responsibility to make sure the permitting process was followed. As you asked me last week, why did it take so long for the permit, and how come I went to the county and the state for permitting approvals? The city of Smyrna told me that the permit process, that all these approvals were required before the plans could be approved by the building department. And when I say all these approvals, he was aware of the synopsis that I had given you earlier, so that made sense to him. It doesn't make sense if you just read it in isolation. After months of trying to get the parties to sign off, the pool contractor gave up. At that point, I started calling the government department and found that the approvals were not required. I basically told you this before. I brought the plans, a permit, and application to the city. They were issued a permit. When I sent the revised drawings to the HOA, which I have emails showing that I did do that, for their approval, and also sent them to the contractor for his review and processing. This is where the error happened. This was it was assumed that I was going to take care of it like I did the first time, because the pool contractor and his permitting associates, and I understand this doesn't forgive me, but I want you to understand that because the city had given this contractor 6 months of you can't do this, you can't do that, and giving him all this wrong information. And then I finally got the permit. When I sent the revised plans to him, he did not submit them to the city. However, I just want to point out for the record that the revised plans as submitted are within all the IRC 2012 code requirements, as well as they're all within the city of Smyrna code requirements. The pool itself is not in violation. The easement clearly states you can't build in the easement, but you can build next to the easement. I mean, there's nothing in anywhere I could find in the entire city ordinances that says you can't. And for instance, my neighbor's home, who is next to the same sewer easement, is only 11 feet from the property line, and the sewer is on the easement, is on the property line. So his house is in the same position as my pool. It's, and by your questions, in violation.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Have you had the outside edge of the pool structure as built with respect to the distance to the easement line by a surveyor?
No, I have not. It was never requested of us, so I just,
No, that's all I asked was a yes or no.
okay.
That's all I need. This second plan that we're looking at is the last plan that you're going to produce?
Yes, sir. Well, unless you ask me to, if, I don't mind working with staff if you want me to move
this
things.
is-
But
this is the
right
plan
now,
we
this
need to
is
be
the
looking at,
plan that
right?
I'm building. Yes, sir. It meets all the
That's
other
not-
requirements of the
That's
city.
not what we're asking. That's the plan you're going to build to. You're currently building to it. You're willing to do the documentation to record with the deed, correct?
Yes, sir. As outlined in my email. I just got his request. I'm not sure what he wants me to sign, but I have no problem moving the pavers or letting you destroy the pavers, and I'll replace them.
No, and also there's going to have to be something that says that that the owner of the property, whomever that may be now or in the future, realizes that damage could occur to that pool deck if a backhoe is within 1 inch of the pool.
Yes, but I don't have in spirit of the law, I don't have a problem with that as long as we can,
I'm not saying,
finalize
I'm
the language.
just making it aware. I'm not saying, hey, we're going to fix it or not. I'm just
Right.
saying
Okay.
somebody needs to be aware, because you ain't going to be in that house, because we all die sometime.
Oh,
So somebody else is going to own that house,
Okay,
and they
well-
need to be aware that, hey, you put a backhoe within
I
an
have my
inch
two
of the pool
granddaughters
deck,
2 blocks away. I'm not going to plan on going anytime soon. I like to see them get married.
but that's the understanding I'm looking
No,
for.
okay, I understand. Yes, Scott, I appreciate that. Or Mr. Stokes.
And also, just so I can wrap my brain around the same topic, just for the sake of clarity, you understand that hypothetically, if the city were to have to gain access to that sewer pipe within the bounds of the easement, it is possible / likely that damage to the actual pool structure, not the pavers, the pool structure itself, it's possible, right? And I think what we're saying is that if you're willing, the question is, are you willing to have recorded that the homeowner is going to be responsible for any of that damage in the event that we have to repair the sewer?
The simple answer to your question is yes, as long as we put the framework on that you use the proper method of shoring and everything else when they do dig a pool that's deep.
Oh, of course, but you put a backhoe in the ground, once you start applying pressure to the earth with a backhoe bucket, you're not only applying vertical pressure, you're also putting in horizontal pressure. That's why I said if the edge of the bucket is within 1 inch of that pool, hypothetically, yes, we're going to apply pressure to the deck.
Right. And to give you some comfort, I am a licensed general contractor. I have been a licensed general contractor for 45 years with the ultimate unlimited license in the state of Florida. I have built in Florida, I have built in North Carolina, I have not built in the state of Georgia. I do operate heavy equipment. I have operated track hoes. I have operated bulldozers. I'm well aware of the issues that you are bringing to light in this matter. And again, there's proper methods of doing minimal damage to adjoining structures. And as long as
Absolutely.
they're followed, I don't have a problem with your recommendations and requests.
And then one other item is, codes require, I guess, a self-latching, locking gate,
Yes, sir.
doors, and all that. We do try to clean our sewers annually, so I've got to have access to your property.
That's no problem.
If they're locked, I don't know what kind of latches you're going to have, but if it's locked, heads up, we're going to break it.
Well,
We're going to get in, we're going to do what we can, and we're going to nail it back up
Okay.
to keep it safe.
well, what I'll do for you is, you're familiar, well, the fire marshal is, chief is, there's called Knock Safe. I have a smaller version of that. I will physically attach that to the house with a key in it, and you will have the
But
access
he doesn't have
number.
access to the Knox
No,
boxes.
not the Knox. This is a master. It's a little bit smaller. It's a 4-digit key. You put the code in, you'll be able to unlock the gate. Or my daughter lives 2 blocks away, and I have neighbors. If you give me notice, I will be more than happy to make sure it's open.
This is an emergency, no notice,
Well,
unfortunately.
emergency, I will have a key
Just
there.
letting you know, we don't do knocks, they do, and my
Right.
guys.
No, it's not a Knox. It's just a regular box. It's
All
just
right.
a regular, and I'll send you a picture of it, and I'm sure we can work that out so you don't have to break it.
Okay. Can we make a motion?
At this time, this is a public hearing. If anyone else would like to speak regarding this issue, please step to the podium at this time. Seeing no one, I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
I will. I'll read it. Can you read it?
Sorry, we only have one computer that's working, so they're having to share
Yeah,
it.
I know, I understand.
Make a motion to approve variance request V17-017, allow construction of a pool deck within the sanitary sewer easement, 0.35 acres, land lot 335, 417 Downfield Way, with the following stipulations. Approval is conditioned upon the substantial compliance of the site plan. That'll be the latest site plan with the variance application. That site plan does show the limits of the deck. It does show the limits of the pool itself. Like a stipulation also that the exterior pool wall be measured professionally by a land surveyor as to its distance to the existing sanitary sewer easement, and then that verification be submitted to the city of Smyrna that the pool wall itself is not within the sanitary sewer easement. City of Smyrna shall not be responsible for any repairs or replacement of the pool deck in the rear yard damaged through the maintenance of the sewer line. That the property owner provide a recordable document that will run with the property and be recorded to indicate that the pavers and the pool itself are the responsibility of the property owner if maintenance needs to be done to that specific sewer line in that particular area. The applicant provides a letter acknowledging all the conditions that have been provided to other subsequent owners of the property, which should be conveyed by this document that will be recorded on the property itself. Make that in form of a motion.
Second.
Mr. Atria, for the record, do you accept the conditions as stated?
Yes, subject to normal construction,
Yes.
procedures and when digging in close proximity of any structure.
It's been motioned and properly second that we approve variance request V17017. All in favor, please vote.
Christiana. Scott can't vote. He's going to have to vote by hand.
All right, all in favor, please vote. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Atria.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
One question is, please, I mean, it's your jeopardy, but please provide us with that survey documentation
Yes, sir.
as soon as possible.
I will,
Because you
I-
continue further and that thing's in the deck, then we got problems.
Right, and I will do that. Actually, I have already contacted the surveyor. He's coming out to survey some other issues from our neighbors, so we're doing several of them. May I address you on a different, just minor issue?
What?
Who handles the power poles, light poles for the city, within a community?
Georgia Power.
I know, but who takes care of it within the city? Is that your department?
Right.
Okay, may I address something while I'm
Yeah.
here? Okay. And also, I want to thank you. I don't know if you talked to the builder, but, we had the accident and a child fell off that wall the other day. She is fine. She did have a concussion, a broken nose, and busted lip from an unprotected wall. And I sent out a bunch of emails Monday morning and Monday afternoon. Dave Plant from O'Dwyer was out there measuring, and I believe he's gonna take care of it. The developer is not gonna do it.
We've contacted our insurer and all that to ensure that this developer does what he needs to do.
Right, and with the developer, we've been trying to take over our HOA for about 6 months. You know who he is. He's problematic, in to say the least. We've hired an attorney to try to do a forced or a hostile takeover of the documents because he won't give them to us. However, he's never paid the electric bill for the light poles. This Georgia Power won't talk to us because it's in his company name, and this is a normal expense of the city, right?
I contacted Georgia Power.
I have a copy of the
they're-
invoice for the account number.
I have all that.
Okay.
I've sent that to GP. I've talked to them personally. They're moving the account to the city's name, so that's the way it's supposed to happen.
Right, and then they're going to fight with him.
We're going to fight with him, correct.
Thank you, that's what I was hoping, because, it is,
He'll want to build someday, and he better not owe us money.
yeah, yes, all right, and I appreciate all your help on that matter. Thank you very much. Again, thank you for your time and consideration.
All right, thank you.
Can I clarify something? The conditions that are in place, is there stop work order until those conditions are met, or?
No, the stop work they released it a month ago.
Okay, so shouldn't we have some kind of, until the as-built survey is submitted?
Joey, can we have that conversation after the
Sure.
license variance for the sake of the schedule?
All right, well,
Thank you.
I'll
All right,
let you.
and then give me a call, and I'll come in, and I'm sure we can work it out to something that's mutually beneficial to everybody. Again, thank you.
Thank you. Next item is a public hearing, variance case V17018, allow front setback reduction from 25 feet to 18 feet for construction of a new single-family home, 0.94 acres, land lot 456, 3303 and 3305 Woodcrest Court. Jeffrey Shea is the applicant. Good morning.
Good morning.
And for the record, can you state your name and tell us about your variance request?
My name is Jeffrey B. Shea. It's S-H-E-A. And basically what we're doing is from the original plans, we're shifting the house over to the second lot. And we're just going to try to merge the two lots. We're also pulling the house up so we can get some, since and so the incline of this property is so steep, so we can possibly appease the neighbors and better view and to save some money on backfill from the house because it's like building in the mountains. pretty
Okay.
much.
Any questions for the applicant?
There's a sewer easement in the backyard just in case.
Just don't get close to the sewer.
Right. All right. At this time, you can sit on the front row, and we'll have Joey Stobbs make comments, please. Joey's looking for the sewer easement.
This is a variance request at 3303 and 3305 Woodcrest Court for reduction of the front setback from 25 feet to 18 feet for construction of a new single-family home. Some background on this subject property. It's 2 individual lots. A couple years ago, the board approved variances for an impervious setback reduction for 2 single-family homes. That never was built, so this property is still vacant, undeveloped. From what I understand, the HOA had a lot of issues with that. The design or the builder itself, I'm not sure. Anyway, Mr. Shea is acquiring the lot or has acquired the lot and requested the variance in front of us. Reducing the front setback will allow the home to be shifted so that there is no encroachment into the impervious setbacks or the stream buffers in which the sewer easement is within. So as long as he's not within any of those buffers, he's not anywhere near the sewer easement. We've reviewed the request. We support the request. Just 2 conditions: that approval of the requested variance is conditioned upon development of the property in substantial compliance with the site plan and elevation submitted with the variance application, and 2, the applicant will record a combination plat that combines both properties into one.
Mr. Shea, for the record, do you accept those 2 conditions?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Any questions for the staff? This is a public hearing. If anyone else would like to speak regarding this issue, please step to the podium at this time. All right, seeing no one, I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
I see this 7 or 8 feet front setback reduction is a good trade-off to keep the actual structure out of all of the rear setbacks and buffers that were mentioned by staff. Having said that, I'm going to make a motion to approve variance request V17-018 to allow front setback reduction from 25 to 18 feet for construction of a new single-family home, 0.94 acre land lot 456, which is 3303 and 3305 Woodcrest Court for Mr. Jeffrey Shea, with the 2 conditions as read into the record by staff.
Second motion.
It's been motioned and properly second that we approve variance request V17018. All in favor, please vote. Motion passes unanimously. Next item is approval of the meeting minutes from March the 8th, 2017 for the License and Variance Board.
Motion to approve the minutes from the March 8th, 2017 meeting of the License and Variance Board.
Second.
It's been motioned and properly second that we approve the meeting minutes from March the 8th, 2017. All in favor, please vote. Motion passes unanimously. I'd like to declare this meeting adjourned at 10:49 a.m. Thank you.